I saw the game as listen. We can sit in here and keep talking about performance and things like this. We didn't win the game. We didn't do enough to win the game, which meant we lost the game. And I get it. It's not good enough. So I take responsibility for it. I can talk about performance, and everyone will have their opinion on urgency and flat and passes and all of these things. That's okay. We didn't do enough to win the game tonight.
John?
Yeah, many positives, but we spoke about them against Cincinnati, and we spoke about them against, all of these games that we've lost 1-0, 3-2. We dominate the ball, we get into the box enough times, we get the ball into wide areas enough times, but we didn't win the game. So, I get it. People don't want to talk about performance when you don't win the football game, and I totally agree. I'm tired of talking about we played well, but we lost.
John?
Hey, Coach. This was the 25th Hudson River Derby all time across all competitions. Each fixture brings new storylines, new narratives, what have you. Based on how it went down today, how do you think this chapter of the rivalry will be remembered?
We control the game but don't score, which allows... It's our league. Our league, the margins are so small. If you don't put the game away, you always leave the game open for a team to score with a set play goal or a second ball off a corner, or we'll remember it for we did many things other than win the football game.
Thank you.
We'll go to the gentleman in the middle.
Mike Batista, Hudson River Blue. Can you please explain the rationale of only using one sub and not coming in the 89th minute?
Yeah, I thought we had all of our offensive players on the field. In a game of this magnitude, we have Tales Magno, Santiago Rodriguez, they're both DPs. We have Gabriel Pereira, that's our best defensive player. We changed Richie Ledesma because he was tired, because I've said a million times of the amount of football that he's played since he's been in PSV and here. We put Andres Yassin on. The magnitude of this game, I think those guys are on the field, are there to win football games.
Christian?
Coach, on a personal level, how difficult was this match for you? Troy, only 2 matches, right, to be able to prepare some of the changes that Red Bull played with tonight?
I say we can speak about performance all day. We prepared for a team that we thought would play the way that they played. We know that they try and disrupt our low build-up. Our low build-up was good. We know we have to switch the play against this team because they try and trap you on one side. We got into the box many times on the opposite side of the field. We didn't score a goal. We have many chances where we have our offensive players in good positions and we don't score. So we have to address that problem, because if we don't score, we don't win.
We'll go right here in the front. Gentlemen.
Well, the stretch of away game is finally done for NYCFC. What does the plan for...
we play Orlando on Wednesday away.
Ah, yes. Okay, but what's the plan on City Field on Saturday?
We don't play at City Field on Saturday. We play Orlando away, and then we have a bye week on Saturday.
Okay, we're going to go to the Zoom. Scott Churchson.
Hey, Coach. Thanks for the time. I know these are the press conferences you really hate. Talk a little bit about in the format. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the 4 matches you've had, that you've won this season. In the 4 matches you've won this season, if I'm not mistaken, I believe you led at halftime. So talk about the importance of actually, going into halftime with the lead and carrying the second half. Thanks.
I don't think it's so much that. I think, our squad is a really young squad. It's the youngest squad we've ever carried. And we rely on the leadership in the squad. And that's not to I'm not digging anybody out here. What I'm saying is, to get the lead and settle this team down early, in the past has really helped, of course, when we've had the lead. In the games when we haven't had the lead, we've tended to maybe lack the ability to get into the game. But it's, like I say, I just said in the dressing room, it's not about performance. It's not like we played poor in the second half compared to the first. We got into many, many moments in the box or in and around the box when we should create goal-scoring moments. Maybe the game swings on real small moments. We cross the ball into the box that lands on the edge of the 6-yard box.
Final 2, we'll go Lilybeth, and then we'll go Michael Andre on the Zoom.
Hi, Nick. Thanks for your time. So my question is, what is your message to the fans? And just because someone mentioned earlier, we have another away game, and there's been like a little bit of a bad luck streak. What is your message to the fans after today?
My message is the results are not the results that we want. Of course, our standards, our expectations are really high. Although this is a different group to what we've had in the past, I take full responsibility for the results, and we'll continue to do that, continue to work with this group. But there has to be an element of realism, and we have to be patient with this group. It's the youngest squad in MLS. There's many changes in our roster, and they're suffering at the minute. You know, the guys want to win football games, and you can see in the way that they play. We just lack that edge at the moment. And I said last week, you know, nobody was questioning the edge against Dallas. Away from home, we're suffering at the minute, and we're not scoring goals and putting games away. And there's many things with set plays and, you know, all of these things. We have to be patient with this group. It's a young group, and it's hurting inside the dressing room there. And it's my job and the staff's job to put that team on the pitch against Orlando with confidence and ready to go fresh, because it's a heavy schedule, but we rely on the fan support. We rely on them being behind us, and these young players rely on the fans being behind them and giving them confidence.
And final one, Michael.
Nick, I guess I'll ask two if I can. They might sound related, but I don't think they are. First is how complicated you believe your buildup is, and do the players understand the buildup that you're asking them to create to get into the offensive zone to get these chances? And the second is, with the roster being the way it is until the summer transfer window comes, do you anticipate a change in the way NYCFC is going to play to try to get results before the roster can change?
The question around build-up is really interesting, because I actually think it's the one area of our game, getting from our goal over the halfway line is probably the strongest part of our game. We get there regularly, and the stats back that up. Getting the ball from the halfway line into the goal is the area where we need to improve. If we were turning the ball over on the edge of our box and we were conceding 15 chances a game, I would think our build-up was complicated, and I would think that maybe we were trying too hard to play a possession game. But you can see in the Cincinnati game, you can see in the Charlotte game, you can see in this game, you know, the possession stat backs that up. Otherwise, we'd have a low possession stat if we couldn't get it from our goal over the halfway line. We have enough offensive quality in our team to create goal chances. Do we have the chemistry and the balance? That's what we're working at. And I say again, nobody questioned that in the Dallas game. But I totally understand why we're questioning it now, because, you know, we don't score enough goals, and we haven't scored enough goals when we're on top to win football games. And that's what we're working at. You know, we're working daily, and the desire is there for our team to be that team that puts teams away. If we score in the first half, if we score in the moments when we're on top tonight, you know, I think we win the football game, but we didn't put the ball in the goal.